Hoi hoi, it's louisity again, and for this video, I'm going to talk about my great reads in 2023. Hoorah! So, as much as in my previous video, I had some disappointing books that I read in 2023, I also had some great books that I read in 2023. So, want to know who they are or what they are? Let us begin! First off would be my 4.5 reads, and both of them are coming from a series, like the same series, a Moymoy Lulumboy series, and they're namely Moymoy Lulumboy ang Nawawalang Birtud and Moymoy Lulumboy ang Paghahanap kay Inay. So this is book 2 and this is book 3, and this got on Goodreads average rating of 4.02, while this one got, at the moment I'm filming, oops, there are my notes, got an average Goodreads rating of 4.07. Now, I really enjoyed like how the adventure went on. It became better, like a little bit better compared to Moymoy Lulumboy ang Batang Aswang. Now we get to like follow his second year and then or third year here, or like the following saga, if I made any sense. And we just get to discover more creatures, and we get to see like the brotherly love, the familiar love. I just really enjoyed it. I had so much fun. I have a reading vlog of my reading experience. It has English subtitles. I decided to do it in Filipino, but overall I just love how the events are getting more intense. You know me, I love it when emotions are being unleashed out of me, and this one, like for example, like for the third book, the sacrifices, that love, you can feel it, the way that Segundo wrote the scenes, the characterizations, and of course the world. Definitely something that one can look forward to. So I'm excited to read book 4. I believe the title is Moymoy Lulumboy Mga Dulot ng Digmaan. Up next would be my 4.75 out of 5 reads. Now, this one I read earlier this year, and I have a reading vlog of it. And by the way, all of the books that I'm going to be talking about here, I have reading vlogs, so you would know more about my reading experiences for them. If you want to know more, it's more of a deep dive. At least it's kind of like how I felt throughout the book, or how's the progress, and all that stuff. But yeah, the next book that I'm going to be talking about would be The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. And I read this earlier in 2023, around the end of January towards the beginning of February, and I felt like it was just in time, because it kind of personally for me now looking back, it was a book that kind of okay, this is how you're going to be starting or setting your beginning of 2023, because the story is about Nora, and she wanted to see what it's like if she has lived other lives through this midnight library. And it kind of I felt some connection to Nora's situation, because there were times when I'm thinking, what if I am in a different person's life? And that's kind of what I felt for me personally with the things that were happening to me in 2023, that kind of gave me a bit of what Nora went through. I had a bit of slices of what other lives have been in some way. If you've been watching my channel, probably know, or if you know me personally, you probably have an idea about what I'm talking about. But I love how, the character, not only the characterization, the way that it, conveyed the scenes of hey, I'm gonna try this one, but it's not that green on the other side, or it's not exactly the life that I expected to be. It's not the life that I actually wanted. And it makes you think about, being accepting and embracing, where you're at. And at the same time, you plant seeds in order for you to achieve the goals that you are setting out, or you've set out yourself to. And, forgot, the average Goodreads rating for Midnight Library would be 4, as in 4.00 flat. And my other 4.75 out of 5 book would be Piecing Me Together by Renee Watson, and I am so glad that I already read this. I've been seeing this from Jessica Nicole Dickerson, one of my favorite booktubers / YouTubers, and I like the fact that this story was simple, yet the events were like very, evoking and thought-provoking. I love how it explained Jade's circumstances in a way that it wasn't like exaggerated. It was done well. It was like the pieces just fell accordingly, if that makes sense. Nothing was overly dramatic. It was just like, hey, this struggle came, or this situation came, and this is how like Jade dealt with it, things that she dealt with her friend, her white friend, so I just love it. And like also the part where she was trying to make conversations with like her black mentor, and how, it also does deal about kind of like the whole, like the black monolith. It was also conveyed, and that's kind of like also something that perhaps other people of color can sort of relate, how like sometimes Asians are lumped into one, East Asians are lumped into one, Southeast Asians are lumped into one, Filipinos are lumped into one, or even when you talk about Tagalogs, besides probably all those things, so, and I like that scene where, Maxine just decided to like, hey, I'm just gonna do better, and really sought feedback. That was lovely. So I really like my reading experience of this one, and I'm so happy, Jessica, that you shared this book, and I am so happy that I already read it. Also, the average Goodreads rating for this one would be 4.09. Let us now proceed with the top books, the ones that are 5 out of 5, and I can't say anything like bad about them. Like, that's my standard of like 5 out of 5, like perfect 5. Like, I don't see anything that's like a little bit or anything, for 4.5, 4.75, maybe there are just some little lapses, but they're still pretty good and pretty amazing that in Goodreads I round their ratings up. But these two, I'm like, when I read it, I can't say anymore. And the first one would have to be Bright by Jessica Jung. All I can say, I was seated when I was reading this book, and I had to like buckle up because I knew that I was going to be in for a ride. And every time I would pause, it made me really contemplate about a lot of things. And I just love wherein like I was reading this and I was like, okay, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen? How is this situation to be dealt with? Boom! I love it. It was like pieced together. I couldn't ask for more. So yeah, and the average Goodreads rating of this one though is, let me just check for a minute. It's not actually a paper. So though it is quite low, it was 3.41. But I love this one. Like, it's 5 out of 5 for me. And the top 5 out of 5 star book with a Goodreads average rating of 4.46. It would be Shah and the City of Gold. Yes. Y'all know I've been raving the Pandava series, and I've been enjoying my reading experiences so far, of the series, and this is like the 4th book, and I'm just 1 book away for me to complete this one. Now, for me, what stood out is that the adventure, the world, the things that they were dealing with, the stakes are really getting higher, and I love it when the stakes are getting higher. High stakes, like it goes higher and higher throughout the series. That's what, like, it's like, count me in, like I'm gonna be seated. Like, if you are going to be telling me about like a high stakes kind of like fantasy read, let me know, because I'm going to be joining the party, y'all. And I love the fact that, aside from the quests, the journey, the things that they've gone through, the way that it was like synthesized and the way that it was conveyed, the narrative, it was so great. You can find out how great it was in my reading vlog, And also, one thing that I'd like to share here in this video, which I am like, one thing that it's like an insight or like a lesson that I'm like, this is really valuable. When you are like thinking about people, like they're not being so great after all, so who are you gonna side on? You know what they said? You know what the characters, you know what Aru's friend said? Themselves, So it's like, hey, if there are not so great people out there and you don't know who to side, root for yourself. Choose yourself. I choose me. Let me know what you think about my shirt. Don't you think it looks cute? I'll show y'all. Don't you think that's cute? Anyway, also let me know down below in the comment section the great books that you read in 2023. And if you've made it this far, leave a paintbrush emoji. And I hope you folks liked this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, click that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon somewhere down there to keep yourselves posted about my videos. And also put down links and handles on my social media accounts, so feel free to check me out and follow me there as well. As always, thank you so much for watching. Always be thankful and unleash the reader in you. Bye, y'all.